A young man named Alex comes back home one day to find something shocking. His own body lying on the carpet in the living room. Next to it, there's an envelope with a message telling him to look at it. At first, Alex is freaked out, but then he becomes curious. Inside the envelope, he finds a flash drive, which he plugs into his computer. On the screen, he sees himself. Alex is puzzled but not high or crazy, he tells himself. He decides to listen carefully, and that's how it all begins, with men in black showing up at his door. Rebecca, who works for a private scientific research institute called Advanced Technologies, has an interesting proposition for Alex, but before she can tell him more, he has to sign a non-disclosure agreement. She even offers him a big check up front. Once Alex signs the papers, Rebecca reveals the story of an unregistered American satellite. Strangely, it's from the future and has a secret message inside. If Alex agrees to help, he'll be put to sleep and taken to the lab. Knowing Alex is broke and lives in his parents' old house, Rebecca transfers a hefty sum to his bank account. This convinces him to go along with the plan and sign the documents. The following day, Alex is driven to a secret location and given an injection that makes him fall asleep. When he wakes up, he finds himself in a hidden laboratory shown to him by Rebecca. There, he begins working on solving a task related to the mysterious satellite. 5 weeks go by, but Alex hasn't made any progress. Rebecca suggests he take a break, but he refuses. One day, he has a vision of a young woman decoding the same task. Shortly after, he discovers her name written on the bed frame. With her help, Alex starts decrypting part of the code, which includes drawings of an unknown device. Rebecca eventually tells Alex his work is finished and he'll be taken home. Back at home, Alex feels unwell, attributing it to fatigue and stress. However, his condition worsens over the next few days, and he starts experiencing persistent hallucinations. One day, 2 strange-looking men show up at his door, asking why he agreed to decrypt the code. Alex is confused because he sees it as just a well-paying job. The men continue to question him about the morality of his actions, as the device created from the code could be the most powerful weapon in the world. Alex's head starts hurting, and he asks the men to leave. They thank him for his answers and depart. After feeling better, Alex sits down at his computer, but then Rebecca calls, reminding him about the signed non-disclosure agreements. Alex feels angry, realizing that the institute is monitoring him. When he returns to the computer, the lights suddenly go out in his house. Outside, he spots one of the men who questioned him across the street. But the man starts growing in size, scaring Alex, who rushes back home. Peeking out the window, he sees a giant hand reaching for him. The next morning, Rebecca arrives to find Alex working. He tries to explain that the recent visitors are from a highly advanced civilization that exists beyond space and time, capable of observing events through a sort of temporal window. Alex warns Rebecca about the danger of the device they're constructing, which could trigger World War I. Rebecca reveals she knows about his brain tumor, blaming the institute for putting him near a radioactive satellite. In the present, Alex buries his dead body in the forest before returning to his computer. He continues listening to the story from his future self, who regrets not being listened to, sensing something ominous approaching. He recalls the woman, Beth, a cryptographer. Despite Alex's pleas, Beth initially refuses to speak with him until he reveals his own impending death in 6 months. Beth then opens up, disclosing that she also realized the device was a weapon, and the drawings supposedly came from the future. Another person, Shearman, communicates with Beth through the computer, sending her tasks to solve. When she feels normal, Beth works on these tasks. However, she starts feeling unwell, so a man takes her to the bedroom while he explores downstairs. He sees reflections of Beth's life in the mirrors, witnessing moments like her saying goodbye to her military love and contemplating suicide. But then, his attention shifts to a message from Shearman on the computer. Alex responds to Shearman, but Shearman realizes it's not Beth and disconnects. Later, the man finds himself on Beth's sofa, surrounded by printed papers of tasks from Shearman. He explains to Beth that these papers are pieces of a puzzle that can provide answers when assembled. It's evident that Shearman doesn't work at the Institute. Alex urges Beth to help stop the creation of a deadly machine. Beth reveals that she fell ill after working with the satellite, experiencing hallucinations and pondering a message from the future. She wonders if it's possible to contact the sender, as she's begun hearing voices of the deceased and even her own voice. Though skeptical of aliens, she asks Alex to leave. Alex returns home to find men in black waiting for him. Rebecca orders him to stop seeing Beth and advises him to use his remaining time wisely. Angry, Alex dismisses the guests, but upon entering his house, he discovers that all his papers with conclusions have vanished. vanished. Meanwhile, Beth witnesses a bright light at her house, making her feel ill. Terrified, she screams and tries to hide. Alex tries to drown his thoughts in alcohol when he receives a message from Shefferman on his computer. He suspects Rebecca is behind this alias, but the person denies it. Suddenly, the doorbell rings, and it's Beth at the doorstep. Siobhan directed her there and sent her blueprints of a device capable of destroying future technology. Together, they start developing a virus to counter the machine created from the blueprints they decrypted. The next morning, Rebecca arrives at Alex's house, revealing that the Institute knows about their work and is on its way. She identifies herself as Shefferman and hopes to destroy the device with their help. As cars approach the house, Alex and Beth escape through the back exit. Rebecca is captured, injected, and taken away in a car. Later that evening, Alex and Beth reach scientist Miles, who recognizes them and reveals that the ancient satellite was not the only one. There was another satellite orbiting Earth for about 400 years, possibly placed by unknown beings from the future. Miles explains that the second device being created at the Institute could grant these beings access to the human dimension, allowing them to manipulate reality. He believes aliens exist in multiple dimensions, and that the second device could alter reality itself. Miles is starting to grasp the gist of the situation, but he can't fully explain it. He mentions that even the appearance of aliens is shaped by the human brain. He has been seeing a huge alien in his garden for over 30 years, but his guests can't see it. Miles believes the tumor in their heads helps them perceive the alien's reality. Alex suggests destroying the device, but Miles warns that it could be rebuilt. They decide to erase all data from the server, though the Institute's location is unknown. Miles reveals he's one of its founders and shows them a detailed map. Suddenly, there's a loud bang at the door, and Alex and Beth flee while Miles deals with the angry alien. They locate the Institute and sneak inside through a hatch. Inside, they split up to improve their chances of finding the lab. Alex notices a guard behaving strangely, and Beth realizes they're stuck in a time loop. Despite this, she activates a bomb but can't leave due to the loop. Alex tries to move the bomb but is stopped by an alien, disintegrating him. Moments later, Alex finds himself tied to a table facing a humanoid alien. He thinks he's dead, but the alien disagrees, expressing curiosity about human appearance and perception of time. Linear time is tedious for aliens, who view humans as trapped in repetitive cycles. The aliens exist beyond time and space, experiencing every moment simultaneously. For them, the connection between cause and effect is a mystery. Alex realizes that without the constraints of time, humans would become similar to aliens in appearance, but their familiar personality and ego would vanish. Death is seen as natural by the alien, but humans fear and distance themselves from it. Time governs everything for humans, shaping their perceptions of reality. But what happens when the source of their perceptions disappears? Despite endless self-analysis, humans may never truly understand the difference between reality and illusion. With each new experience, a new reality is born, presenting individuals with constant choices. Feeling unwell, Alex is offered by the alien to return to a moment before he got sick, armed with his current knowledge. However, Alex realizes that changing his behavior won't alter the situation. He admits that humans don't truly choose their fate. The humanoid questions whether returning to the past will make any difference. Alex suddenly finds himself back at his computer, understanding that nothing can be changed. He records a message on a flash drive, warning Beth of the impending danger, then heads to her house. Meanwhile, the future Alex urges to forget everything and just live. This thought-provoking scenario prompts reflection on the nature of time and the consequences of human actions on their future. Here you will get mind-blowing movie recaps every time. Show your support to the channel. Thanks.